Hey, and welcome to SynergyCafe. Another episode here on what is today? I don't even know what day. I think it's Tuesday. Tuesday, Good News Day. So we've got Rhonda, and Rhonda's in the green room right now, enjoying some of our digital hors d'oeuvres. We always stock it up real good with good, healthy digital hors d'oeuvres for people. They're very low cal. So I'm going to go get Rhonda and bring her on. So you stand by, and I'll be back in just a few. There she is, Rhonda. Hello.
Hey. Hi, Brad.
How are you? Let's inflate this. Look at that. Isn't
There we
technology
go.
wonderful when it works?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. What part of town are you in?
I'm in Grass Valley, California, which is just east of Sacramento, about an hour from Lake Tahoe.
West Coaster. You don't have to worry about that rain over on the East Coast.
Yep.
We're
Yeah,
safe here.
we got our own issues here.
Yes, you do. You get a little rumble in the jungle once in a while. I spent a couple years out in LA.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for being here. This was fun. When I first looked at your company, when I first saw it, it was right here. Where's it? Right there. SweetWater HRV. And I saw the mobile thing, and right away I thought, oh, it's a mobile health RV. That's what my head started thinking.
It's a mobile health app. It absolutely is.
Yeah, you just carry it in your pocket.
You do. You can measure your health right from the convenience of your mobile phone.
Your own pocket.
Seriously.
So
yeah.
How, this is sort of off topic, but how long you lived out there in California?
Oh, I've lived here since 73. Yeah,
okay, so
pretty much all my life. Yeah.
Okay.
And I got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering at University of California, Davis. And then I worked at Silicon Valley startup companies doing computer chip design for a very long time. Yeah.
Okay.
And one day I just felt like I wasn't doing anything. And even though I was busy, Right. And so I got a master's in holistic psychology. And that's really where I started to understand the state of the human race, and that we all needed to take care of our own self in order to make the planet and society better. And so what I learned was that everyone's stressed out, and you don't even know it because your brain is a giant filter.
Yeah, I had a situation like that.
Yeah.
Huh? What was that?
It's a pattern matcher and filter, and it filters out anything that's familiar, even if it's dysfunctional.
Yeah, it sort of sneaks up on you. It's trying to protect you, that stress thing, and then all of a sudden it gets you. I had a situation where I was producing some events, and my business partner and I didn't get along real well, and we were doing a lot of events, and I wasn't eating good. And then I had a mild stroke, just snuck up on me.
Oh.
What was it called? A TIA. You know about those, right?
Yes, I do know about that. My mom had some TIAs.
Yeah,
fortunately, you can recover those. Yeah, it's a wake-up call.
Exactly what it was. But it was a shock to me because I didn't expect it. I felt fine. I was doing okay, but that stress thing kind of sneaks up on you. So your app then would kind of monitor something like that and kind of let you know that, hey, you better get in and get this fixed.
Well, that's exactly what it does. Yeah. So once I realized that not everyone had the luxury I did for having 3 years of grad school to learn to understand my inner state. So I decided we needed an app that was inexpensive and used off-the-shelf products. And then you can actually measure your nervous system. So you would have seen your nervous system starting to collapse before you got that level of stress, or you would have seen a chronic fight or flight response before that happened, and it would have allowed you to do something about it before you had a TIA.
Right, and normally your body is protecting you, so you don't know that stuff's going on. It sneaks up on you. So that's pretty cool. So you took your technology experience and then moved it into something with a little more purpose behind it than.
You're exactly right.
Got it.
And my co-founder is a software engineer. She did networking, at a startup that got bought by Cisco.
This
So
was back when networking was computers instead of people, right?
exactly.
I don't like the word networking when you go to those business socials. It makes me feel like I'm an electron, and I'm not.
No, you're not. You're not. You're doing the social networking.
So the HRV, that stands for, let's see, health something variability response.
It's heart rate variability.
Heart rate. Duh, 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 duh.
Yeah,
Heart
and
rate
so it's
variability.
important that your listeners know what that is. So if you picture an EKG with the blip, blip,
Yeah.
okay, the time between heartbeats is not the same every heartbeat like a metronome. So if your heart beats at 60 beats per minute, it doesn't beat at 1 second intervals like a metronome. If it did, you'd be sick. What it does is it beats it maybe blip to blip is 0.92 seconds, 0.98 seconds, 1.02 seconds, and so on. That averages out to 1 second intervals, but and 60 beats per minute. But so the natural variation of the time between those heartbeats, the blips in an EKG, is what's called heart rate variability. And it's a result of you have your autonomic nervous system, so it just takes care of everything that you don't have to pay attention to. And it's got two branches. One is the sympathetic branch, which is your fight or flight response, and that speeds the heart up.
Right.
You also have the parasympathetic branch, or your rest and digest branch, and that slows your heart down. And so as you're going about your day, doing this or doing that and sitting down and relaxing or whatever, these two branches are basically keeping you moving straight forward. And so this is natural and healthy for your heart rhythm to vary between beats. And
Well, it
so
makes total sense, because there's times when you're watching a movie and the romantic part is happening, and then all of a sudden the axe murderer is coming in, your heart starts beating.
Then you'll start going into fight or flight. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it makes sense that your body is regulating all that stuff. But if you're not
it is.
conscious of it, that it's not doing it the right way, that's where
Exactly.
it sounds like something like that. You use this app? Is it always on you? You put like electrodes and things on your
So
body?
you can. So there's a few ways to use it. You can do a daily reading with a 3-minute checkup. And for those we use off the shelf. So you can use something like this. You get them on Amazon and you just hold it for 3 minutes and do your measurement. And then we provide complete layperson citizen feedback for you. Here's what you are today. And this is a really good day to finish some busy work and take a nap. Or today's actually a perfect day for that focused work to finish that project. Or if you want to monitor all day long, you wear an athletic chest strap, heart rate monitor. And that just goes on if you're a woman right under the bra strap there. And you can turn that on and you can measure what's going all day long. And that's really useful if you want to see what times of day you're stressing or what specific events are causing you to go into fight or flight. And you can turn on an alert. So it'll go, hey, what are you doing right now? What? Well, my face is in the screen and I'm being like that. And then you can stop and go, what am I doing? Because this is putting me into stress. And if I do this every day, I like to use the example of the same traffic jam every day on your way to work. Every day at Saratoga Avenue, it backs up. And every day you get your shoulders up and you start getting your knickers in a twist. And so that cumulative stress adds up in your life. Whereas once you start realizing that you're actually going into a really unhealthy, dysfunctional fight or flight mode, then you can actually, as soon as you start driving up to the traffic jam on Saratoga Avenue, you can slow down, take deep breaths, and just go through it till the traffic clears up. So
Well, I guess if you're stuck in traffic and if you knew that it was probably going to kill you, you might chill out a little bit and realize it's not that big a deal.
yeah, but your brain's filtered that out, so you're not even aware that you're going.
I like that you said you use like common person's language, because you see all those acronyms and stuff. It makes you crazy when you. Granted, someone that's in health, they can use those and they understand what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But someone like myself, it's like I couldn't even figure this HRV one out, and I just read it 10 minutes ago.
Right. Heart rate variability. But it's really the health of your nervous system
Mhm.
is really the best way to put that. And when you can measure your chronic stress, you can measure all kinds of things.
I suppose you could even measure diet. If you eat something that doesn't work so good for you, all of a sudden something would shift and
Well,
let
so
you.
we actually have a food test. It's called
Oh,
Food Effect.
I mean,
And
smart.
exactly, exactly. And I have to tell you, so I eat pretty healthy. We've partnered in the past with like Bulletproof Executive and Ben Greenfield. So we've been kind of up for a decade on sort of the leading edge thinking in health. And I made my own protein bars. I got organic cashews as the base, and it's all this healthy stuff. And they're so delicious. I had to put the recipe on the website so my friends could find it. Well, we just put our food test on the Apple Watch, so it's standalone. That's all you need. It's the easiest way to measure your foods. And I was like, why is my heart rate 78? Seriously, because when I wake up, it's 48. And I was just sitting at my desk. And so I'm like, I just ate my cashew bar. So the next day, I tested a handful of organic cashews. And sure enough, my heart rate just sitting at my desk went from like 52 almost to 80. And
Wow.
my heart rate variability, my nervous system went. And so I learned I don't have any overt reactions. There's no rashes. There's no nothing. I really didn't know that for 5 years I was eating something that was causing me problems. And
Sure.
so I learned that, in fact, I'm having internally a significant reaction to cashews. And so I had to sort of get them out of my life. And now the joint pain in my hand is getting better because what it does is cause this low level inflammation that's significant enough that through time it starts causing issues, brain fog, sleep problems, skin issues, joint pain. Yeah, the list goes
Now,
on.
this is, I always go off on a deep tangent thing, but so say there's a situation that you had a previous relationship and you guys just love to go out for nachos at some restaurant. And now you're in a new relationship and that's not relevant really. And you happen to order nachos. Could that possibly spike some anger or something in you because the situation is ingrained from a past relationship and the
Ab-
monitor might let
well,
you see something like that?
absolutely. That's called triggered. So in graduate
Yeah.
school, I studied holistic psychology, and you had to learn about your triggers. And so it's being triggered. I'll tell you the one that's a real big one that I think a lot of your listeners can relate to is seeing a car that's like your ex's car. And
Oh,
you just get this, you think it's them. And,
yeah.
you never used to see silver forerunners all over the place, but now they're everywhere.
And the windows
And
are
you
tinted, so I can't see who's in
and I
there.
can't see who's in it, and his windows are tinted, and you get this whole. It starts subconsciously, and then it starts into your stomach, and you start getting the butterflies. Then it moves into your heart, and then the stories start. Okay,
Right.
all these stories, and so yes, you can absolutely measure that. Now, for that, you'd want to wear the athletic chest strap. Let me show you one real quick. I
Sure.
got one here. Should have pulled it out, but they just look like this.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those
And you
people at
just
the
put it
gym wear
there,
that.
yeah, and you just pair that to the app. And so if you're really, really wanting to see what your day looks like, I highly recommend it. Um, because then you can learn what's happening through the day that's causing you to go into fight or flight.
Well, I could even see something like this working for someone that is athlete that runs or something because they
Well,
can kind of
exactly.
see. Yeah, interesting.
So one of our micro markets is athletic recovery, and
I
we
am
have.
brilliant. I know all
You
about you
are. You're
already.
on it. You're on it. You're on it. So we have a feature in our app SweetBeat HRV called HRV for training. And so what athletes do is they wake up and before they get out of bed and before they start thinking, because thinking can cause a change, you
Sure.
just while you're kind of dozing, you do a 3-minute reading, and what you get is a result. Uh, Say you worked out super, super hard. You're training for a triathlon or an Ironman, and you didn't give yourself enough time to recover, but today you've got time to run 20 miles. Should you or should you not? So what you do is you get your reading in the morning and it tells you if you've recovered. Because if you go working out hard again without recovery, then you get poorer results. And so professional athletes have been using this for decades. They measure their HRV every day. And clinical research shows that if you incorporate this into your regular training pattern or schedule, that you have better outcomes. And so, yes, absolutely, athletes use it.
So then, so if someone wants something like this, they go to your website to get the app, or they can just
They can
search
go to
it.
our website to determine which app they want, and then it's just in the App Store.
And then do you have like a page on your site that has all the accessories, like the strap
Of
and
course, yes.
things like
So we
that?
have
All right.
you go up there and you can find which heart rate monitors are supported and pick yours that you happen to like. Some people love Garmin and others. There's a company called Wahoo that's just not Polar, and there's Polar. And then we've got like I said, these handheld models for your like 3-minute reading. There's one of these that's a patch. So some people really like the patch. They can just
Right.
stick the patch on. It's got little EKG sort of stickers, and yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
disclaimer so that people know, I did not set this up with all these questions. I'm just asking the right questions, and
You're on it.
you have the
Totally.
right answers.
Yeah. Yeah. This is great. This is great.
So, do you have any partnerships or anything that with the Olympics or anything like that you might be working on, or is that
What
something
we
you hope to
focus
do?
more on are our wellness, health and wellness.
Okay.
So we have like pretty extreme athletes like Ben Greenfield, who's an author, and he's got a whole company on health and fitness. And then like the biohackers, Dave Asprey's Bulletproof Executive, the quantified selfers. These are people that are always biohacking, is what it's called, to see what makes them healthy and what doesn't, what's working for them and what's not. And so by measuring your heart rate variability, you're measuring your nervous system. Let me put it this way. Americans spend $30 billion a year on supplements, um, health, and diets. Okay. Now, while you have a scale to measure your weight to see if the diet's working, um, people don't realize that they need to be measuring the results of the supplements and all of the products that they're consuming.
Yeah.
And they also don't realize that they can do that by just using an app that measures heart rate variability. And it's so important to understand that everything we consume, including your shampoos, your lotions, your sunscreens, everything you're exposed to, your cleaning products, has an effect on our health. And it can lead to brain fog. It can lead to indigestion's a huge one for people. Joint pain also. And so you simply just measure the results of your lifestyle. And especially if you're starting a new habit, you want to go ahead and get a baseline of your nervous system or your heart rate variability, and then measure it even just once a week for 6, 8, 10 months. We recommend measuring every day to sort of get a feel for where you are, but even just once a week, while you're watching your regular TV show, not the news these days, but just some fun TV show, and see where you are. And so if you're making a new habit, let's make sure that it's improving your systemic health, your overall health, versus having a decline, which can happen, as was my cashew story. I would have
I
seen that if
suppose
I'd been looking for it.
that kind of like food intake thing could happen. Maybe there's certain nuts that you have and then certain fruits or something. And if you mix those together, that might trigger something. So
Absolutely.
being able to monitor that, that's very interesting.
Yeah,
So
there's a whole line of thinking of food combinations.
we're coming up on 20 minutes, and I don't do these too long, so they're small
Okay.
enough for people to consume. But I wanted to also touch on, you got your body health. What about mental health? It's got to tie into that too.
It totally ties into that. You're asking such great questions. We call it the heart rate variability ecosystem, and it's a holistic approach to health. And so your environment, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, everything affects that nervous system. And once again, that's where we talked about, you see the car that your ex drives,
Yeah.
and it causes the actual your emotions surrounding it, causes an actual physical reaction.
Yeah.
And so you can absolutely measure what your thoughts are doing using heart rate variability and our SweetBeat apps. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is perfect. We just jumped on 20 minutes here. We've been talking, but this is a fascinating thing. Then I got it wrong when I was thinking it was a mobile health thing, but this is better than mobile. Carry in your pocket.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Well, I'm gonna let you go into our green room, and again, we've replenished the digital hors d'oeuvres, so you're welcome to have some of
thank
those,
you.
and they're all
Thank
heart
you so
healthy, so you don't have
much.
to worry about that. And if you
Thank
want
you
to
so
stick
much
around,
for
we
having
can talk a little further, and I'll explain how I go about doing all this stuff because it's a little unorthodox because that's the way I work.
me.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Thank you.
There you go. That's Rhonda, and her last name is Collier with I forgot how to say it. I should put that thing back up there so you can see it. It's hard to say it all the time. It's hard to remember domains, but it's right there. SweetWater. That's easy enough to remember. SweetWater, HRV.com. And that's our friend Rhonda. So thank you for hanging out with us today on Synergy Cafe. Wah. Enjoy the rest of your day. I want you to be good and be kind, be nice. Did I say be nice? I did. Be nice. Peace.